back to Celestia Astrology. I'm Sonia. Thank you for joining me to look at the astrology of the new moon in Gemini on the 6th of June. Planting the seeds of possibility. In astrology, new moons represent new beginnings, fresh starts, and the initiation of a new cycle. It's a time when we look to make new plans, plant seeds for the future, and embrace fresh possibilities, and then we allow them to grow as the moon grows fuller. New moons occur when the sun and moon meet in the same zodiac sign, causing the moon to be hidden from our perspective on Earth. This new moon occurs in Gemini's communicative and curious sign at 16 degrees, and it will be at 12:37 PM on Universal Time on the 6th of June 2024. Gemini teaches us about the intellectual sphere and communications. It's always busy. We enjoy a beginner's mind, seeing the world with playful curiosity, learning and dissecting and exploring new ideas. We learn about something by understanding the nature of its opposite. So under this new moon, we might feel particularly drawn to intellectual pursuits, maybe expanding our knowledge or understanding, communication and social interactions. A 6-month or a 2-week cycle. The Gemini new moon's influence can be viewed in one of two ways. We can either look short-term and see it as a 2-week cycle. Considering the moon cycle itself, which is 29 days, the seeds that you plant during this new moon will likely see some initial growth and momentum within the next 2 weeks, culminating at the full moon in Capricorn on the 22nd of June 2024. Or you can look long-term, 6 months ahead. Gemini's energy resonates strongly with communications, learning and exploration. The full moon in Gemini, which occurs in 6 months' time, on the 15th of December 2024, might be a more significant marker for the fruition of your longer-term plans set under this new moon. That full moon in December could represent a time of seeing a bigger picture, receiving feedback on your communication efforts, or even initiating collaborations related to your initial intentions. Understanding Gemini's duality. Gemini, which is often symbolized by the twins, is a mutable, air and masculine or yang sign. Mutable signs fall at the end of each season, spring, summer, autumn or winter, and are known for their adaptability and flexibility. They represent the ability to transition and bridge the gap between those seasons. Often changing between a rainy day and a sunny day, they can switch quite easily. They have a great ability to go with the flow and can easily pivot. However, this can also mean that they can struggle with completing the multiple tasks that they are juggling or committing to for the long term. Air signs are often admired as intellectual, communicative and social. They are drawn to ideas, learning and exchange of information. The challenge is to bring those ideas and thought forms out of the cloud and into practical, grounded form. Gemini embodies the ability to adapt, communicate, and explore different ideas and perspectives. It's a sign that thrives on duality and seeing various sides of an issue. People with Gemini placements may often be found with multiple irons in the fire. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, curiosity, and mental agility. Mercury may be known as the messenger of the gods, or by the name of Hermes. Mercury will be moving through the sign of Gemini at this time of the new moon, which adds some power to the ability to achieve its significations. This is because Mercury is in its home sign or domicile, so it doesn't have to defer to a ruling planet as it would if it was in another sign. This influence during the new moon emphasises themes such as clear communication, learning and exploration, and seeking out new knowledge and perspectives, social connections, building relationships, and fostering connections with mental dexterity, thinking critically, solving problems, and adapting to new ideas. Mercury is known itself as a planet of duality. Without gender, Mercury travels further than any other planet, even the moon. Mercury has access between worlds, and this is why he is sometimes known as the messenger or the psychopomp. The second decan of Gemini. This Gemini new moon also tells its own story due to its placement in the second decan. Austin Coppock offers the image for this decan of a hermaphrodite. The second decan represents the reconciliation of opposing forces within ourselves and the idea of being without gender. This second decan of Gemini is ruled by Venus in the triplicity theme and by Mars in the descending order method. So this decan suggests a potent mix of Venusian charm and Martian drive, combined with Mercury's intellectual influence. The corresponding tarot card is the Nine of Swords, and this depicts the struggle to confront difficult truths within. We see how our thoughts and ideas can become swords that cause us harm. There's an uncomfortable feeling as we attempt to reconcile so many disparate parts of self into one congruent whole. This is why astrologer Kira Ryberg aptly calls this decan complexity in her ebook on the decans. Nothing is straightforward here, and the nuance must be attended to. We are asked to acknowledge this difficulty in our shadow selves and see how freeing it can be, not to pigeon ourselves into a stereotype, but to welcome the nuanced areas of life and self where answers are not clear. The Wild Way card from the Wild Way Oracle deck, which is shown by Nicolan Art, illustrates an eagle soaring with a rose in its talons, inviting us to embrace contradictions. It reminds us that holding multiple viewpoints can also be empowering. While some truths can be uncomfortable, if we navigate these polarities, the tension of the opposites, and with kindness towards ourselves, that can be the key. We are given the keywords: tension between opposites, value of duality, and be kind to your mind. The planetary aspects. This new moon is part of a stellium in Gemini. A stellium is created when 3 or more planets cluster closely together in one sign. This blends their significations and creates a focus on that area. The 2 benefic planets, Jupiter, the planet of generosity, growth, faith, wisdom, and order, and Venus, the planet of love, beauty, peace, balance, and joy, are joining Mercury and the new moon in Gemini. Together, these amplify the potential for growth and connection in ways that support us, but they may also expand some of the less welcome forms of communication, such as deceptive scams, misuse of AI, etc. Notably, Venus shares the exact degree, 16 degrees of Gemini, with the new moon. Some astrologers consider this a Cazimi placement, signifying a deep connection with the sun's life-giving energy of renewal and purpose. It is known as being in the heart of the sun. This indicates a death and rebirth of Venusian themes in this area of your chart, like love, creativity, balance, and diplomacy, during this cycle, most likely concerning your themes of the intellectual sphere of Gemini. The new moon benefits from this Cazimi of Venus blending her loving kindness and pleasure-seeking with Mercury's curious fascinations. Mercury, Gemini's ruler, is also present, as we said before, in domicile, which means it is easier to manifest the significations of the new moon with Mercury's dignified assistance and his oversight. This suggests clear communication and a strong mental focus to navigate the complexities of this decan. Mercury escapes the combustion effect that the other planets will suffer from being too close to the sun. While he is in this sign, in his own sign, this is known as being in his chariot, as though he were riding in a side chariot with the sun, like a sidecar, protected from the harm of the burning heat and the sun's rays. The moon's dance, challenges and opportunities. The moon is, however, challenged by a square from superior Saturn in intuitive, watery Pisces. Saturn, the Lord of Time, can bring restriction and responsibility or show us our limitations. Saturn can offer pragmatic foundations and show us what isn't working, to help us review and rewrite our plans. This aspect might bring up feelings of doubt or limitations, but it can also encourage us to be realistic and responsible as we move forward. Squares are of the nature of Mars, the warrior planet of passion, heat and action. You will be asked to take action or resolve some tension to benefit from these lessons from pragmatic Saturn. The Moon also forms a harmonious trine with retrograde Pluto, planet of empowerment and transformation, in innovative, rebellious and cool area Aquarius. Trines are of the nature of Jupiter, expansive, generous, bringing order. This trine may offer a chance to transform ourselves by embracing contradictions and pushing past limitations. However, trines with Pluto can be known for hitting differently, so be prepared that you may be shown an aspect of your shadow or unconscious self that it is now time to acknowledge. Sometimes it is time for a situation that is disempowering to end and for you to become aware that a clean slate is needed. It would be wise to pay attention to what you're being shown from your unconscious, for example in dreams or meditation at this time. Finally, the Moon is flowing forth from a sextile to North Node in Aries and a trine to the South Node in Libra. This suggests a fated element to the new moon. The seeds that we plant now and the new starts we make have the potential to blossom into something significant on our life path. I hope this new moon offers you a path forward. Journey with courage, curiosity and an open heart. And please also check out the sister episode of the Astro Mindfulness for this new moon in Gemini. Please feel free to leave a comment with your thoughts, experiences or questions, and I am so grateful always for your likes and subscribes as well. It's really important for a small channel because the algorithm gets ever harder to get my content out for it to be seen by others who might also enjoy it. And also just to let you know that my books are open if you would like a personal and individual astrology reading. I'm in my 3rd year now with Adam Ellenbass and I begin the 4th year in June, which is coming up very quickly. So I'm now a 4th year advanced student with Adam Ellenbass in Hellenistic astrology. I set a Reiki healing intention for every client before the reading. This is not compulsory. You can opt out of it when you book with me. Just let me know if you don't want it set, but otherwise I will set that intention and you will just receive it as we do the work. If you have any questions about that or my readings, please just reach out. Thank you so much for listening.